September! Welcome to Let's Stitch a Year of Stars. Today we are going to be stitching the large star. This star does have a little bit of marking and a lot of ruler work. Now all the marking that you will see that I have done and will do throughout this whole entire stitch along, I am using the blue Mark Be Gone marker. I've had great success with that, so that's what I'm choosing to use here. Now, I am stitching this whole entire stitch along on this really awesome panel here. This panel is a custom panel that's available for purchase through Honest Fabric. If you would like to piece your own panel and stitch along with me, you can totally do that as well. If you want to even stitch your blocks or these designs on solid fabrics or smaller blocks, anything you want, you can totally go ahead and do that. I am really here, hopefully, to inspire you on your own machine quilting journey. Now, if you do want to stitch along on something you've pieced, we do have a workbook available for purchase over on our website, pieceandquilt.com, that's a companion piecing workbook. It teaches you step-by-step how to piece all 12 of these blocks and then put them together in an awesome quilt. We also have a companion workbook on our website, pieceandquilt.com, that shows all of the machine quilting designs for this whole entire stitch along in full color. Plus, it also has 12 blank blocks where you can sketch, doodle, and draw your own machine quilting designs. So cool. I love those workbooks and how they work so well with this stitch along. So, let's get stitching. I'll start out by using my blue Mark Be Gone marker, and I'm going to mark a T through the center of my block. From there, I'm ready to begin stitching. I'll start out by stitching in the ditch all the way around to the outside of my block. Once I have stitched in the ditch all the way around the outside of the block, now I'm ready to start dressing it up just a little bit. Starting at end point on the outside, I'll stitch in the ditch around the outside of the center unit. So once I have stitched in the ditch, then I'm going to fill in that unit with clams. I do teach you step by step how to quilt this design in my online class, Beginner's Guide to Free Motion Quilting, but I simply start out by stitching a teardrop shape and then adding a few echoes to the outside. So just a little bit of advice, when you are stitching out those clams, I like them to be as random as can be. So sometimes I'm stitching 1 or 2 echoes, sometimes it's 3 or 4. Once I've completed that section, then I'm going to continue on to the next unit where I'll start out by stitching in the ditch and then moving on and filling in with those clams. From there, I'll repeat that process, stitching in the ditch and then filling with those clams all the way around the outside of this quilt block. Now, you could start this block design by working the center first and then the background second. Really, sometimes I do it first and sometimes I do it second. It just depends on how I feel at that moment. Now that I've completed the stitching and all of the background, we're ready to move on and start stitching on the center portion of this block. From the outside of the block, I'm going to travel right along that marked point, stitching from the outside right to the center point on this block. From that center point, I'm going to line up my mini machine quilting ruler so that the edge of the ruler intersects the corner. From there, I'll stitch a straight line down until the side of my foot hits the side of the block. From there, I'll adjust and stitch an echo around the point of the block, and then I'll stitch an angular line back to that center point. I'll repeat this process on every single one of those points, stitching an echo around the point. When I get to the end of the point, adjust my ruler and stitch back to the center. Once I've completed each of those points, then I'll finish off this design by simply misting away those marked points.